Hello friends, welcome to State Engineering Service Examination and SSCJ section of Winds of Change. In this we will cover so many questions that are related to various subjects that are frequently being asked in various examinations. For any problem, you may contact us at windsofchange2020@gmail.com. You may like this video, comment on this video for any feedback and share this video if you find it useful. And to download study material, you can visit to our app Winds of Change from Google Play Store. You can download it where you will find all the study materials. Welcome to top 80 questions of steel structures. In this video, we will cover question number 1 to 30. So let's begin. The first question, the effective length of the fillet weld should not be less than 2 times the weld size, 4 times the weld size, 6 times the weld size or equal to weld size. Just think about it. Effective length of fillet weld is being asked in the question. It will be given by 4 times of the weld size. Okay, the effective length of fillet weld should not be less than the 4 times of weld size. You can watch this from this video of revision of steel structure. The link of this video is already being given in the description box. You can visit to this video and revise the subject of steel structure. Here you can find it out that length of the weld, this is equal to L effective plus 2S, and this length should not be less than 4 times the size of the weld. Okay, which was given in option B. So memorize it. Next question. The use of tie plates in laced column is prohibited, not prohibited, permitted at the start and end of the lacing system only, or permitted between two parts of the lacing. Just think about it, where we provide the tie plate in laced column. Are these prohibited? No, these are not prohibited. There is no restriction on prohibition or non-prohibition. So there is only one thing that will be correct about it, that is it is permitted at start and end of the lacing system only. That is option C will be correct. Okay, you can see here in the starting of this lacing system this tie plate is being provided. Okay, in the starting and end only it will be provided. This cannot be provided in the middle portion. Okay. Next question. By providing sufficient edge distance, which of the following failures of the riveted joint can be avoided? Tension failure of the plate, shear failure of the rivet, shear failure of the plate, or crushing failure of the rivet. If we provide sufficient edge distance, okay, you all know about edge distance. Now, which of the following failure of the rivet joint can be avoided? Think about it. The answer will be option C, that is shear failure of the plate can be avoided. Okay, shear failure of rivet cannot be avoided because shear failure of rivet will already be occur. But the shear failure of plate, which you can see here, we can avoid this condition by increasing the edge distance. Okay, so that this tearing condition cannot be obtained. Okay, so option C will be correct. Next question. If the floor is supported at or near the bottom but top chords of a bridge is not braced, then the bridge is called deck type, through type, half trough type or double deck type. What is the condition that is given here? Floor is supported at or near the bottom. Okay, the floor is being supported near bottom only, but top chord of bridge is not braced. Okay, then that system is called, think about it, it will be called as half trough type. Okay, that is option C. This is a condition of half trough type where it is being true that if the floor is supported at near or the bottom but top chords of a bridge is not braced, then that condition is called as half trough type. Okay. Next question. Maximum pitch of the bolt in tension used in steel stacks is limited to, what is the thickness of the thinner plate being connected. It will be 6T or 10T or 12T or 16T. Just think about it. We are talking about the maximum pitch of the bolt in tension. We have explained about it in the revision video of steel structure. The answer will be option D, that is 16T. It is being explained here. The pitch value, maximum value, it should not be more than 16T or 200 mm. This has to be 200 mm, not meter. Okay. Maximum value will be this one, whichever being minimum of these two. Next question. When the axis of the load lies in the plane of the rivet group, then the rivet are subjected to only shear stress, only tensile stress, both A and B, or none of the above. Here we are talking that axis of the load lies in the plane of the rivet group. If the axis of load lies in the plane of rivet group and there is no eccentricity, then there will be condition that only shear stress will develop. Okay, so option A will be correct answer. Next question. Rivets connecting flange angle to cover plate in a plate girder are subjected to horizontal shear only, vertical shear only, both A and B, or none of the above. Just think about it. In the case of the rivet which connect flange angle to cover plate, in case of the plate girder, it will be subjected to horizontal shear only. Okay, this is the one, this is the rivet which is connecting the flange angle to the cover plate, okay, of plate girder. This one will be the rivet. Okay, so this rivet will be in horizontal shear only. Okay, next question. Pitch of the tacking rivets when double angle connected back to back and acting as tension members should not be more than 500 mm, 600 mm, 1000 mm or 300 mm. Here we are talking about the pitch of the tacking rivets. Okay, and the case is that double angle are connected back to back. In that case, the distance that is pitch, that should not be more than, think about it, it should not be more than 1000 mm. That is option C will be correct answer. This is a condition which is being given. These are being placed back to back. Okay, in that case, this value of pitch of this rivet, this should not be more than 1000 mm. Okay. Next question. Efficiency of a riveted joint having a minimum pitch as per IS 800 is 40%, 50%, 60% or 70%. Now think about it. We are talking about the efficiency of riveted joint. Okay, when minimum pitch is being provided. In that case, what will be the efficiency of the riveted joint? It will be around 60%. Okay, option C will be correct answer. We should memorize it. It is not being given anywhere else. It can only be found in IS 800. Okay, next question. The forces acting on the web splices of the plate girder are axial force, shear and axial force, shear and bending force, or axial and bending forces. Just think about it. We are talking about the forces acting on the web splicage of plate girder. Okay. On web splice of plate girder, what will be the force that will be acting? It will be shear as well as the bending forces. Okay. Axial force will not be developed here. This is a condition of web splice. You can see here. It is being provided along with web. It will enhance the strength of the web at the point where loading is being applied. In that case, you can see here, this is the web splice. Okay, and here only shear and bending forces act. Okay, next question. The actual thickness of the butt weld as compared to the thickness of the plate is usually more, less, equal, or none of the above. Just think about it. The case of the butt weld. In case of butt weld, since only the butt weld is the one which is of the type of complete bearing, so in that case, the size of the butt weld with respect to thickness of the plate is, it will be more. Okay, option A will be the correct one. You can see the examples here. This is square butt weld. This is square butt weld on both sides. This is on the one side. This is both sides. This is single V butt joint. This is double V butt joint. This is single U type. This is single bevel type, and this is J butt type. Okay, next question. A circular column section is generally not used in actual practice because why we don't use circular column section of steel? It is uneconomical. It cannot carry the load safely. It is difficult to connect beams to the round section, or all of the above. Just think about it. Is it the economy point of perspective? No, it is not, because economy is not the criteria here. The same amount of steel will be used for other type of section also. It cannot carry the load safely, which is also incorrect. In actual practice, if we see that circular columns are very effective in carrying the load, okay, but there will be the difficulty to connect beams to the round sections, okay, to the round sections, since it will be curved portion, so anything which can be connected to it will be in the direction tangential to it. So that is why we do not prefer the circular column section. Okay, so that the other beams or whatever strut that will be connected to it can be easily attached. So option C is the correct answer, that is, it is difficult to connect beams to the round section. Next question. Diameter of a bolt hole is usually taken as gross diameter of the bolt, nominal diameter plus 1.5 mm, nominal diameter plus 2 mm, or nominal diameter of the bolt. We are talking about the diameter of the bolt hole. What it will be? There can be a possibility of various answer, but the preferable one will be option B, that is nominal diameter plus 1.5 mm. Okay, after 25 mm we use nominal diameter plus 2 mm of the bolt, but we in general, in usual practice, nominal diameter plus 1.5 mm is preferred up to 25 mm of bolt. Okay, next question. If the thickness of the thinnest outside plate is 10 mm, then the maximum pitch of the rivets in tension will be taken as 120 mm, 160 mm, 200 mm, or 300 mm. Think about this question. We have already discussed the condition of it. The thickness of the thinnest outside plate is 10 mm and we have to find out the maximum pitch of the rivets. What were the criteria for maximum pitch? Can you recall it? It was 16 T or 200 mm, whichever being minimum. Okay, so what will be the answer? It will be option B, that is 160 mm. Okay, 16 T will be 16 into 10, that is 160, or 200, whichever is minimum. So minimum is 160. So option B will be the correct answer. It is very easy question, but please memorize it. What will be the condition here? 16 T or 200 mm. Next question. The difference between gross diameter and nominal diameter for the rivets up to 25 mm diameter is, we have already discussed it in a question earlier. Okay, 1 mm or 1.5 mm, 2 mm or 2.5 mm. So what will be the answer? It is 1.5 mm. Up to 25 mm of the rivet diameter, 1.5 mm will be the difference between gross diameter and nominal diameter. Gross diameter is usually the diameter of the hole. Okay. Next question. The external wind pressure acting on the roof depends on degree of permeability of roof, slope of roof, both A and B, or none of the above. Okay, we are talking about external wind pressure acting on the roof. It will be dependent upon the, think about it. Will it be dependent upon permeability of the roof? No, because the relation of permeability is to the seepage of the water. Okay, not about the wind. The answer will be option B, that is slope of the roof. Okay, slope of the roof will determine the external wind pressure. Okay, you can see here the conditions. There will be a high uplift which will be developed if slope is like this. If in this case there will be low uplift, and in this case there will be lowest uplift. Okay, these are the conditions that can be obtained with changing the slopes. Okay, next question. The conditions being same, the load factor in indeterminate structure is, in case of indeterminate structure with respect to determinate structure, what it will be? Equal to load factor in determinate structure, more than load factor in determinate structure, less than load factor in determinate structure, or unpredictable. Just think about it. If we keep all other conditions same, now we have to compare the load factor between determinate and indeterminate structures. The answer will be, it will be more than load factor in determinate structure. What is load factor? It is the average load divided by the peak load. Okay, so this is a variation, average load to peak load. Now this variation will be, as much variation will be lower, that much will be the value of the load factor. Okay, so here the variation will be average load to peak load. This variation is lowest in case of indeterminate structure. So load factor will be higher in case of the indeterminate structure. Okay, so more than load factor in the determinate structure. Option B will be correct answer. Next question. As per IS 875, for the purpose of specifying basic wind velocity, the country has been divided into 4 zones, 5 zones, 6 zones, or 7 zones. Just think about it. Very easy question. On the basis of the wind velocity, the country has been divided, India has been divided into how many zones? Answer is 6 zones. Okay, India is geographically divided into 6 wind zones on the basis of long-term meteorological data. Okay, next question. The effective length of the batten strut effectively held in position at both ends but not restrained in direction is taken as 1.8 L, 1.3 L, 1.1 L, or 1.5 L. What will be the answer? Just think about it. The condition which is being given here is that it is being held in position, effectively held in position at both ends, but not restrained in direction. Okay, it is like a pin jointed connection. So in this case, effective length is L. Okay, but since it is a battened strut, so the effective length will be increased. Okay, why it is so? Because the lambda effective will be increased in case of the battened column. So the answer will become 1.1 L. Okay, because it will be increased by 10%. Lambda effective equal to 1.1 times of lambda actual in case of the battened column. Okay, option C will be the correct answer. Next question, select the correct statement. Material cost of rivet is higher than that of bolt. In this we are comparing between rivet and bolt. Tensile strength of bolt is lesser than that of rivet. Bolts are used as a temporary fastening, whereas rivets are used as permanent fastening. Or riveting are less noisy than bolting. Just think about it. This last statement is absolutely incorrect because riveting is very much noisy. In this we have to strike the rivet with hammer, while in case of bolting no such operation is being performed. In this, material cost of the rivet is higher than that of bolt, which is also incorrect. Okay, because bolt usually HSFG quality is being used, okay, which is high strength friction grip bolt, so that will be more costly. Tensile strength of bolt is lesser than that of rivet, which is also incorrect. It is approximately same, or we can say that it will be higher only. Bolts are used as temporary fastening, whereas rivets are used as permanent fastening, which is absolutely correct statement. So option C will be the correct one. Okay. Bolts are used as temporary fastening. It can be removed also. But if a rivet has been placed once, it is a permanent fastening. Okay, it cannot be removed. If it is being removed, then it cannot be used again. So option C will be the correct answer here. Next question. Select the following statements. Top lateral bracing prevents the sideway buckling of cords. Sway bracing keeps the rectangular shape of the bridge cross section. Sway bracing transfers the load from top of end post to bearings. Which one will be the correct answer? Only first one, both first and second one, both first and third one, or all of these? Just think about it. Was this statement first? What will be the answer? It will be option B, that will be correct here. Option B says that first and second statements are correct. Which one is the incorrect? Sway bracing transfers the load from top of the end post to bearing. These are the sway bracings which are being provided in the top. Okay, now their function is not to transfer the load. Okay, they are not being meant to transfer the load from top of end post to bearing. Okay, for this purpose the portal bracing are being used. The correct statements are top lateral bracing prevents the sideway buckling of the cords, which is absolutely correct. That is why it is being provided. And sway bracing keeps the rectangular shape of the bridge cross section because it will prevent it from warping. A sway brace is a device that is recommended for controlling vibration, absorbing shock loading, guiding or restraining the movement of pipe resulting from the thermal expansion, and bracing a pipeline against sway. Okay. Next question. Bearing stiffeners are provided at the support, midspan, the point of application of the concentrated loads. Which are the correct answers? Only one, both first and second, both first and third, or all of these? Just think about this statement of bearing stiffeners, where we provide bearing stiffeners. The answer will be option C, that is both first and third will be the correct answer. Bearing stiffeners are not provided at midspan. Bearing stiffeners are provided where there is a large amount of shear occurs. Okay, at the midpoint there will be no shear or zero shear. So there we will not provide the bearing stiffeners. It will be provided at supports because shear is maximum at the support, and at the point of application of the load there is also a high level of the shear. Okay, so that is why we provide bearing stiffeners at these two places. Now bearing stiffeners are the additional stiffness required at the point of concentrated load for the purpose of protecting the web from compressive loads, and they provide vertical stiffness which are provided at the point of application of loads and at the end reactions. Okay. Next question. Battening is preferable when the column carries axial load only, space between the two main components is not very large, or column is eccentrically loaded. The correct answer will be only first, only third, first and second, or second and third. Just think about it. In which case battening is preferable? First of all, when the column is eccentrically loaded, then battening is not preferred. In that case, battening is avoided. Okay, then we will go for the lacing. If column carries axial load only, then anyone can be provided, either battening or lacing. So it is a correct statement. And what about the second statement? If space between the two main components it is not very large, then we will prefer bracing. It is also correct statement. So the answer will be option first and second, that is option C will be the correct answer. Okay, next question. The web crippling due to excessive bearing stress can be avoided by increasing the web thickness, providing suitable stiffener, increasing the length of the bearing plate, or none of the above. Think about it. The condition of the web crippling that can be avoided if the answer will be option C, that is if we increase the length of the bearing plates. Okay, this is the condition of the crippling of the web. You can watch here. This is the kink that will be formed in the straightness of the web. Now it can be avoided. It can be avoided if we increase the length of the bearing plates. Bearing plates are being placed here so that it can improve the strength of the web. Okay. Next question. The ratio of plastic section modulus to elastic section modulus is equal to 1, is always less than 1, is always greater than 1, or can be less than 1. Just think about it. The answer will be, it will always be greater than 1. Option C will be correct. You can see here in the examples, the F value, minimum value is 1, and after that it is only greater than 1. Like for I section it is 1.12, for this circular ring it is 1.27, for square section 1.5, circle it is 1.698 or about 1.7, T section 1.8, and diamond section it is 2. Memorize these shape factors also, that is the ratio of section modulus of plastic section modulus to elastic section modulus. Okay. Next question. The portal bracing in the truss bridge is used to transfer load from top of end post to bearing, keep the rectangular shape of the bridge cross section, which is not the portal brace, we have already seen in a question, stiffens the structure laterally, or prevent the sideway buckling of the top chords, which is also not case of the portal bracing. These are the cases of top bracing, but we are talking about portal bracing. So what will be the function of it? It will transfer the load from top of end post to the bearing here. Okay, these three were the function of top chords or top lateral bracing. Okay, but this is the function of the portal bracing is to transfer load from top of end post to the bearing. Okay, you see here, this is the portal bracing. Next question. The bracing provided in the plane of end post is called sway bracing, portal bracing, top lateral bracing, or bottom lateral bracing. What will be the answer? You have already seen it in the previous question. The bracing provided in the plane of end post, that is called portal bracing. That is option B will be correct. We have already seen portal bracing, and this is the end post. Okay, so at the end post the bracing provided is called portal bracing. Next question. A butt weld is specified by effective throat thickness, plate thickness, size of weld, or penetration thickness. What will be the answer? It is an easy question. The butt weld or fillet weld also, any of the weld is specified by the effective throat thickness of it. Okay, the weld is only defined by the effective throat thickness. So option A will be correct. Next question. The allowable shear stress in the web of mild steel beam decreases with, if H is the height and T is the thickness, decrease in H by T ratio, increase in H by T ratio, decrease in thickness, or increase in height. Here we are talking about allowable shear stress in the web of the mild steel beam. Allowable shear stress. Shear stress is for the web section only. Okay, so how it will decrease? Just think about it. The shear stress that can be decreased if we increase the H by T ratio, that is option B will be correct answer. This is the H, if this height is H and this is the thickness of it. So if this ratio is more, that means the slenderness ratio will be more for this web portion. So if we increase this slenderness ratio, then the allowable shear stress on this web portion will decrease. Okay, so option B will be the correct answer. So now we will finish here with the last question of this video, that is 30th question. In the next video, we will cover question number 31 to 60. Till that, subscribe to this channel and install the app of Winds of Change.